Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Exodus2169 and I am playing Terraria. Now, I've not really been playing this long, I only recently picked it up. Really quite like it, but I have noticed out there people on their videos and such, maybe those who don't read the wiki or what have you, or those who get misleading information from the wiki. Yeah, a lot seem to have troubles with discovering when NPCs move in, when you encounter them, so on and so forth. Please excuse the messiness of the house. It's, yeah, I would say it's work in progress, but that's the way it goes. Right. All NPCs have certain, conditions before they will move in. For example, the first one that has a condition rather than just having a room is Durim, or the Demolitionist, as he's otherwise known. The name does vary, as I'm sure you'd imagine. I'm watching Sips play this, and his is called Dolgrim or something. Don't know, doesn't matter. Right, his condition is having a steady supply of explosives, by which that means collecting a certain number from underground chests and pots and so on and so forth. Whether that be grenades, bombs, whatever, you have to collect a certain amount. It's a very small number though, so most will just find he moves in randomly without them realising the exact point of it. What most people find is usually the next chap they get is often Dominique or the arms dealer. The arms dealer will only move in once you have a gun in your inventory. You have picked up and are carrying your first gun. Then the arms dealer will turn up. One surefire way to get him, or her, I can't remember, doesn't matter, is going to the corruption, or the corrupted area, and breaking one or two shadow orbs. The first shadow orb you ever break is a guaranteed musket. You will get a musket first time. I think the number of shots you get for it vary. I got 44 musket balls. So yes, just don't break 3, otherwise you'll incur the wrath of the Eater of Worlds unless you're prepared. Yeah, it takes a lot of effort to kill that guy, but there are some easy ways. Right, next one. Sometimes people will find they might get her first before the arms dealer. Well, that does vary for each playthrough. It depends on what you do in what order. She will appear once you have beaten one boss. One boss. That's all it takes. One boss. Doesn't matter which one that boss is, as long as you've beaten a boss, whether it be the Eye of Cthulhu, Eater of Worlds, or if you're stupid enough to try for that first, Skeletron. But yes, she is the Dryad. Kind of like a goody person who wants you to remove the corruption from the world. She sells you this powder which can allow you to convert small areas of corruption back into normal land, which is quite cool. I think there's some sort of quest for removing all the corruption, but I don't know. Yeah, that's the way it goes. Yes, also, the Goblin Tinkerer. He's rather cool actually, you can get some reasonable stuff from him. I'm not going to show you all the stuff, but that's one of the things you can get is the tinkering table. I've not figured out how to use it yet, but he will also, which is another great thing, reforge your weapons and items. So, for example, you've got a crappy item and you think, well, it's the only one I've got, but I wish it was better. So, for example, you've got a shoddy, I don't know, a shoddy sword of awesomeness plus 19 or whatever. I'm making this up as I go along. Go to him, select Reforge, and you end up with this. Stick an item, yeah, okay, I was lucky with that. stick that in there, bam, and press that little button. And yes, you will end up with a nice new sparkling thing. It can vary as to what you get. Sometimes you'll get another shoddy thing in return. Sometimes you'll get like an orange, like I did. Yeah, I reforged that axe a couple of times. Rather helpful. Right, but yeah, it can be very costly. So make sure it varies from item to item, and like the based on the original value, I think. But yeah, very handy. Definitely worth a try. You get him after you have defeated the Goblin Army. The Goblin Army is if I remember rightly, a 1 in 15 chance of spawning towards the dawn of each day. It will warn you in advance, saying the Goblin Army is approaching from the east, west, blah blah blah. That only applies to the first wave of them. The rest of them will approach from whatever direction they want to. And there's a lot of them. There is a fuckload. My house is laid out in this way more by accident, but it came in quite handy during their first assault, as I literally stood here, and by this point I had this. Well, I've upgraded it since then, but it was just something like a menacing Bile or something like that. I don't know. It was rather cool. Yeah, I just stood here and used that just as they gathered underneath here after breaking through the door. I didn't have all of this at that point. Yeah, after breaking through the door, because it'll shoot through walls, I'll show you. Yeah. It does a lot of good stuff. It does take mana to use, so make sure you've got a crap load. Well, not a crap load, but you've at least got 2 bars on your mana from falling stars. Right. Ooh, goodies. Alright, I'm gonna go get some of them while I keep talking. Gotcha. Right. Could always do with more. I'm working on something at the moment, so I need to collect them. Right, yeah. Once you defeat the Golden Army, he will be found randomly underground, tied up. Now, if he's being attacked, your best kill off his attacker first. It does vary whether he's being attacked or not. Depends on where he's spawned. So yes, there is a chance that he'll be in the middle of a bunch of mobs, so you're going to want to slice him up. Slice them up even. Once you've found him, right click on him, it will release him, and eventually he will spawn back at the house. Or in whatever room he's got. Yeah. Right, next up will be Roland, the Clothier. Or, yeah, just the Clothier. When you first encounter him, his name will be Old Man. In order to set him free, you need to, what's the word? You need to defeat his master. You can only, it's basically a curse. You can only get that at night, and believe me, make sure you are fully kitted out and have a lot of upgraded stuff and health and pots and whatever before you attack him. Before you, summon his master. For those that don't know, Skeletron is his master. Die. You noisy bastards! Seriously. Sorry about that. Someone doesn't know how to keep their engine running quiet, I suppose. Or it's just in need of maintenance. I don't know. I don't know anything about bikes. Or peds. Mopeds or whatever. Or scooters or something you might know them as. But anyway, after that rude interruption, we go on to the mechanic. Once you have beaten this guy's master, Skeletron, you will be able to get into the dungeon. The dungeon spawns within a certain distance of each map edge, So it could be at one side of the map, it could be at the other. I'm on a large world, so it took a little while to find. But she'll be randomly found tied up in the dungeon. Enough said. There is another NPC, I believe. Yes, there is. The wizard. Please forgive me if I've missed someone out as well. But yeah, you only get the wizard after you have defeated the Wall of Flesh. Yep. You've got to spawn and defeat the Wall of Flesh. That thing will appear. Oh, blimey. You have to find the voodoo doll of the guide. In my case, Ryan up there. You know, the dude you start with. And you have to throw it in lava down in the underworld. You have to throw it in lava, and it's like, oh fuck's sake, seriously? So he dies because you sacrifice him. That's what the voodoo doll's all about. And then the Wall of Flesh spawns, and from what I've heard, that's a bastard. I've not even done it yet. That's why I don't have him, naturally. And then the wizard will turn up sometime after that. So yes. Excuse me, hiccups. Those are the NPCs. Great fun. Oops. I don't even have a decent grappling hook yet. I'll just have the basic one. Whee! Oops. Yeah, I love climbing vertical surfaces. It's great fun. Yeah, it's really handy for getting down into the depths of the corruption. So I really recommend you have one of them before you go down into the corruption and break your first 2 orbs. Yeah, now, a rough idea. A lot of people who are first starting out fear the Eye of Cthulhu. Now, get yourself a crap load of wood, build yourself an arena like this, and each night after you have over 10 defense and over 200 health, or 200 health or over I should say, and 4 NPCs or more, so most people have that quite quickly. I know I did. So yeah, he will have a 1 in 3 chance of spawning at the beginning of each night. Once he spawns, you use this sort of arena, you know, just stand in the middle of it, and I recommend having a gun like a musket. I'm currently firing meteor shot, though back when I defeated him I only had obviously regular musket balls. They come in very handy against him. Just keep on firing them off and, you know, kicking his ass. Well worth it. Alternatively, I know some of you will agree with me, having a crap load of shurikens also works. Whether that be shurikens, throwing knives, spike balls, and whatever, stuff like that. Yeah, you will have those. Yes. So use ranged weapons to deal with him, or a vile thorn as well. Those are quite useful for taking out some of the little mobs that he spawns. Quite rare to find, but very handy. Yes, so that's that. So yeah, just keep dodging, using the platforms, going backwards and forwards, and so on and so forth. And you know, you'll eventually be fine. I do recommend having Hermes boots for like super speedy stuff. It does help getting around the map as well, so highly recommended. I haven't bothered to buy rocket boots yet. I probably should. Not tried them. So yes, that's those. Eater of Worlds, because of the he will only spawn in the corruption, and if you leave the corruption, he will disappear. So if you die, you've got to start it all over again. Blah blah blah. I mean, I was meaning for this to be a short video. Now I'm giving explanations on everything. Haha. Yes. So do that. What was I going to say? Yeah. In the caverns down there, do a similar sort of thing. Use wooden platforms to bar off the various holes, or dirt, or whatever, you know, if you want to just block the holes completely, so he doesn't end up knocking you down them and then trapping you and then killing you in virtually instantly. That has happened to me during one of my first attempts to him. It wasn't pleasant. That's better. So yeah, once you've done that, build a platform across the middle as well. That's helpful, so you can just jump down, jump up. You know, if you've got space for more, then, you know, do more as well. Yes. So yeah, just keep jumping around, avoiding him. And I found the Vile Thorn was very, very handy against him, as was having my Phase Blade. So yeah, I just stood there and because if you can get him literally facing you about that far away and just keep hitting him, providing his head that, you know, he has in the first place, you just keep hitting that, it will just keep whittling him down, you keep destroying the heads, and he actually slows if you hit him straight in the head, so you can literally trap him there and just keep whacking him. It's great. If you hit him anywhere but the head or the tail, don't bother with the tail, it's much harder to hit than the head. Yeah, if you hit him anywhere but, he'll break off and basically turn into another Eater of Worlds, you know, so there's a bunch of them of varying lengths if you keep on hitting the middle. So keep aiming for the head if at all possible. It's much easier to kill him that way. So yes, that's that. Yeah, just keep dodging. The shadow orbs that you need to break in order to summon him can be broken either with a hammer or bombs, TNT, grenades. Actually, no, I don't think grenades do it, but bombs certainly do. Sticky bombs are handy for drilling down to them, because by the point you're in the corruption, chances are that you won't have a higher level pick, a pick that is higher level enough to drill down to the shadow orbs and destroy them. So your best bet would be to use bombs to drill down to them. Seriously, sticky bombs and regular bombs, a good combo of each. Make sure you've got a lot, and just keep going down until you've blown them up or created an opening big enough to go down and get them. They do drop loot, random loot, of varying degrees of usefulness. It is rather awesome. That's how I got my first Vile Thorn. It was on the second orb that I broke. Absolutely brilliant. Get them. You know, once you've defeated these worlds, I think you can just keep getting more and more orbs, or if there is enough corruptions in the world to go get them. So yeah, just keep doing that. Get as many as you can, you know, just keep getting the loot, because you will likely find there's some awesome loot. So, that's that. Oh yeah, before you go down to corruption, like I said, make sure you have a grappling hook, because it's much easier to get in and out again using using it even. So yes, that's that. So yes, that's my quick explanation on NPCs and bosses. Like I said, people are often very scared of the Eye of Cthulhu, first one you get. Excuse me. As I suggested, and a lot of people would also suggest, musket and or shurikens. Make sure you've got a lot of shots for the musket. Around 200 should do it, because you will need to hit him a lot. He does change form when you're getting down to half health. So that's 1400 out of 2800. Just keep hitting him and dodging. keep hitting and dodging. He does spawn, in his first form he spawns little tiny, like demon eyes but weaker. Don't worry too much about them, just kill them when you've got the opportunity. Focus your attacks on the eyeball itself. In the second form, his iris and pupil are replaced by a gaping mouth of teethy doom. He doesn't hit that much more power, that much harder. I do suggest having full gold armor. A lot of other people, especially on the wiki, have suggested this as well. Though I did it with full, with iron armor and a silver helmet. So don't worry about it too much. As if you can avoid him, like using an arena like this, I think arena is the term a lot of people use. Yeah, use something similar to this, and you'll find it's much easier to avoid him. He does attack much faster, but he is slightly slower in his second form. So he attacks more frequently. There you go. So basically, his idea of attacking is just to headbutt you. Yeah, just fly towards you. He can pass through any surface. So you see these, the land and the house. He'll just pass straight through it, like he's a ghost or something. He's not even there. That's why you use the wooden platforms, because you can't exactly avoid him when you're jumping through concrete and dirt and bricks and stone. So yeah, make sure when he spawns, you're outside like this. Absolutely brilliant. Obviously, he's not going to spawn from me because I've already killed him. And same with the Eater of Worlds and Skeletron. So yes, just relax, just keep going. Oh yeah, by the way, one final thing before I go, sorry. In order to make the Demonite gear, so like my godly war axe for the night, you will need not only Demonite, which is dropped by the Eye of Cthulhu, you will also need I can't remember what they're called, Demonite scales, something like that. They're like purple little scales, so yeah, you'll need them. Yes, Eater of Worlds is the only mob that drops them, and is the only way to get them. So there is no chance of you having Demonite gear for the purpose of killing the first two bosses. So don't bother trying. Right, that's that. I think that's probably all I can tell you at the moment. So I'll leave it there. And if you have any questions, feel free to drop me a message or drop a comment. I do try to read all of them. Although granted, I'm not getting that many at the moment, but shh, I'm still starting out. So yes, I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope it's been informative to you. I may do a series on this eventually, like starting from fresh or something like that. We shall see, and just work from there. But that's in the future. I've got a bunch of other stuff to deal with at the moment. So, take it easy, people. Much love, and I hope this has been helpful to you. Bye bye.